Coming up in this video, we're going to run through how you can do a concreting, takeoff, and estimate using Assemble Pro. So we're going to be running through how you get your area measurements, and you can add in a depth to get your overall volume of concrete, the benefits to creating groups and categories to segment your work so you can present it later on to your clients or even the guys that you work with, and a couple of other really good tips on how to get the most out of the system. So this will be broad strokes. The more you use it, the more you can tailor it to how you work. And we're going to run through everything here, but as I said, you'll be able to get a good handle on how you can apply it to your business. If you do have any questions, feel free to get onto me in the comments, or else head over to assemblepro.com, shoot me an email, and we'd love to set up a call to chat. Okay, guys, we're going to jump in and do a concrete paving plan here for this set of drawings. One thing I would always recommend before starting is making a known length to check that the plans are calibrated accordingly. So Assemble Pro is automatically set as 100:1. So you can double check that just down in the bottom right corner. It usually is. So you can see there it's 100:1. So on these plans, there is no known length measurement, which can be a bit of a sticky wicket for the concreting boys and girls who are watching this. Using a bit of common sense, we can make a pretty good educated guess. So this car space is 2.5 meters length. That stacks up. If that read 10 meters or if it was 1 meter, there could be an issue there. But because we're confident that the car spaces are 2.5 meters, then we know that the plans are calibrated correctly and we're good to go. So the first material takeoff we're going to do is 100 mil paving. So to do that, we're going to select the Polygon tool. This is going to be an area measurement. I've already got a fairly decent concrete group structure set up, but I don't have my 100 mil paving. So I just hit create new group, type in 100 mil paving, give it a color. And if you need to create a new category, you can do so here. Just hit the drop down and type in the new category and hit create. If it's something that you're going to use a lot, you can save it to a template. So I definitely recommend creating templates and, working from that. So whether that's formwork or it's structural, whatever those templates might be, you can save them there. So anyway, I'm going to save the 100 mil paving to concrete, and away we go with the area measurement. So to get us started, you find the point to start, click to start. If you have the polygon selected, you click to drop a marker and change direction. You trace the outline of the entire measurement. And when you're done, you double click to finish the measurement. And when you're finished, you will see the full measurement in the measurements drawer. Now, there's a big space in the middle of this that I don't want to include in that measurement. I simply hit the deduct tool above the polygon or the rectangle, and I trace the outline of the area I want deducted. So again, not ideal, but this is a tricky one to have done, and I've taken that whole area out of the measurement. So a couple of ways you can do that. You can do it in smaller chunks, or you can use the deduct tool. So I'm going to continue the paving measurement. Once I've got that selected, I use the polygon again, go around and get my area measurement. Now, what you can't see here is that I'm using my keyboard and my mouse to do this. One of the shortcuts, the keyboard shortcuts you can do, is when you press the space bar and you can click and drag the mouse as I'm doing here. So that just helps you get around the plans much quicker. I'm going to leave a video in the comments to the shortcuts video on YouTube. It's worth its weight in gold. Keyboard shortcuts are the unsung hero of most softwares. And once you get to know them, they'll be really handy. So you hit the drop down here, and you can see by hovering over the lines, it will illuminate the measurement on the canvas. By checking the box in the measurements drawer, we can add in a depth. So there you can see it's 100 mil. what you got to do is hit 0.100 for 100 mil, and you can see the cubic meters of concrete. If that was 150 mil, 0.15, if it was a meter, you can put in whatever you want there, and you can get your cubes of paving, gravel, concrete, whatever it is that you need. So you can see there's a bit of a mess now on the canvas, and to get rid of that without losing any of your measurements, you can hit the eye icon next to the measurement, and that will make it disappear from the canvas, and it will all be there when we are finished and ready to export. So to move on, in the length tool, we're going to measure saw cuts. So again, create new group. I'm just going to name this SC. I'm going to choose to thicken up the lines here so we are able to see it a little bit better. And away we go. So it is click to start, click to drop a marker, change direction, and double click to finish the measurement. And as before, you will see the individual measurement SC, but it is basically increasing with every measurement we put into it. When you're finished, you can click the drop down. You can see all of the individual measurements that make it up. If you've made a mistake, you can go in and delete an individual one, or you can delete the whole group. Another really good feature is the annotation tool. So this will allow you to write notes on the plans for yourself, for the guys who work for you, the GC, the client. And what this will allow you to do is be really specific in either your questions or your instructions, and it avoids the dreaded site mix-up. So that's where we lose all our money, is when we get to site and we've stuffed something up in the estimating or the quoting phase. So this really cuts down on that. And when you're finished all of it, you get to download the markups, and you can send this with your quote and say, guys, I've written a couple of notes on the plans there. Can you confirm that that's what we're all in agreement with? Or send it to the guys on site and say, we're putting the concrete here in the red areas marked. So that's a great feature that people tend to enjoy once they get the hang of it. So I'm going to run you through the count feature here as well. So it does what it says on the tin, and you can see here I've got a fair few board piers and board pier 2s counted up. And the beauty about this is that you can just see exactly what it is that you've accounted for. So when the missus comes in and throws her shoe at you, you don't lose count. So let's start with the PF1. And the only difference here is that you choose an icon with which to represent it on the plans. So name, you can put it into its category, choose a color for it, a nice pink, and then you choose your icon. Again, if you want to save it to a template, would totally recommend doing that. Then you just go around and find your PF1s on the plans and count them. Now, if this looks a little bit small for you, you can't quite see what you've done, you can use the slider to increase the size of the counts. So again, that's a nice little touch there. Once you're done, check that box above the measurements drawer, and that is where your legend comes in. Move it around and you can resize it, and then when you export to PDF, your legend will be where it is you dropped it. So you can then export your marked up PDFs and an Excel template as well to help you with your takeoffs and estimating and submit bids. And that kind of wraps up the video, guys. So it was super high level. There is so much more detail to it, but I think it gives you a real flavor for what's available. If you do have any questions, I would love to have a chat with you. You can either get us in the intercom in the bottom right if you've got an account, or else just shoot me an email, Jonathan@assemblepro.com, and would love to, basically have a chat and see how we can help you streamline your takeoffs and estimates.